In today's video, we're going to be breaking down the latest trailers and sneak peeks for The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 15, The Tower. Of course, before we begin, make sure you subscribe or you are a Nicholas. If you're not subscribed, you're just going to be a Nicholas in life. Make sure you subscribe to be more like Rick. I promise you. It's that simple. Why haven't you? Now, there is many things that the tower could mean. If you've been on the channel for a while, you know I've been looking forward to this scene. I'm sure a lot of you have, if it means the water tower scene. Since we found out episode 15 was called The Tower, I was always looking forward to making this trailer breakdown because I was sure we'd see something that would definitely confirm that it happens, or at least give us some kind of guarantee that it's definitely going to be here. And I actually waited to record this trailer breakdown just to wait for any more sneak peeks and any more promo pictures that would usually come out and wait to see if they tell us that it happens. But it looks like the meaning of the tower could simply just mean the tower that Beta's standing on, the watchtower, which is just the windmill. Now, this video is going to be largely based on this scene, so for one final time I'm going to explain to you the water tower scene. Gabriel's comic death. At the very beginning of The Walking Dead, issue 158, Gabriel is on a water tower. He is a scout. He's there to warn the communities that Beta's herd is on the way. He gets caught off guard and he looks down. The herd is here. He panics, he screams for help, he couldn't be more loud, and due to his anxiety, he falls and trips on the way down from the water tower. His leg gets caught in one of the last legs of the ladder. His ankle now broken, he's screaming for help. Beta comes out of nowhere. He guts Gabriel upside down. "I release you," Beta says, walking away. "You should have whispered." The walkers later devour Gabriel, and comic strip by comic strip, we see his body slowly get taken away. He is left unrecognizable not only as Gabriel, but as any human being. He's just a corpse, an unidentified corpse. Which brings us back to December. Do you remember I made that video of a picture Greg uploaded to his Instagram, and it was an unidentified corpse? I said it looked like Aaron. Well, behind Beta in this trailer, in the tower, is Alden and Aaron. Yeah, let's break down this trailer. Of course, the most interesting thing that we see in this trailer is that Beta's horde is already here. Every single one of these characters have simply just up and left, which honestly, because Beta's got more control of the herd, that was a wise thing to change from the comics. In the comics, they simply defended the place like they did in No Way Out. But of course, there's a more sentient odor among these walkers, and that's Beta. Although Beta has this influence over this herd, it's his herd. That means they can also trick Beta, tricking the rest of the herd. So them leaving is a good idea, as much as it's a disappointment to not have them defending Alexandria. What's really cool is they're sticking with the whole Beta Jason Voorhees vibe. He is imagining a voice in his head, so he really is mad. Now this voice, this delusion, is telling him to go to Oceanside. He mutters to himself, "the ocean," which of course makes sense because in the comics that's where they end the herd. They bring out Beta's herd into the ocean, so Beta will bring the herd to Oceanside thinking that's where the characters have gone. That's likely what the finale will consist of. It's all part of the survivors' plan. And that's what I said about episode 14. Beta's reaction was disappointing, but we've just got to wait till we see the payoff to that. He's not in some animal-like rage. He is conducting the herd without any real feelings to it. He doesn't even want revenge, he just wants to simply kill. And that's right now what I dislike about it. I think it's bad that he let Alpha's death become him. I think it would have been so much better if Beta lost himself through Alpha's death. I mean, just look at him. I think the whole idea of him having Alpha's face as a mask is absurd. It looks like Homer Simpson had sex with Jason Voorhees and The Undertaker. Beta in the show simply isn't throwing away some reckless siege, which is why I think the water tower death won't be exactly how we all thought it would happen. For example, remember what I said, the death happened at the beginning of issue 158, the beginning of Beta bringing his horde. It was a shocking introduction to the issue, so surely the water tower death would be a shocking introduction to the episode. Which is why I think, although Alden and Aaron are on this tower, they could likely just be safe. I was discussing with Walking Dead Theory on Instagram that this picture could likely be Gage. Think about why Gabriel was killed in the comics. He had become a really useless and tireless character. So small, so storyless, he had no connection with any single character. He wasn't just storyless, Robert Kirkman actually said it was because he didn't know what to do with him, and he was killed for the shock. He's a character that could get this iconic death and still not be missed after. It wouldn't affect the story. So Scott having more lines than usual in season 10 fits perfectly. Gage not having any friends, all dead. Only having a small revenge arc says he could get it. These are two characters that are big enough to be noticeable, yet not too big to affect the story after. And if the water tower death does happen at the very beginning of the episode, surely these two characters would be the safest and most fitting. So I do think the water tower death does happen, but it will just be at the very beginning of the episode and a small character. So what about Aaron and Alden? Why are they up on this watchtower? The episode is called The Tower, this is where the death happens. It's a bit worrying, isn't it? Well, remember, in the comics, Aaron and Jesus killed Beta. And so it's really obvious that Alden has replaced Jesus in that sense. They are predictably going to be the one to kill Beta, but being so close to Beta and Beta living to the finale, is it likely they succeed? Well, for a start, it's interesting they've sent a man with one arm to go and do this mission. Assuming they didn't get stuck there, it's a bit weird. As capable as you think he might be, they've just been assigned to climb this tower. He's got one arm. If you're thinking it's a bit random that Aaron and Alden would be the ones to kill Beta, remember they had a connection to Gamma, so that's why it would be them to do it. Beta killed Gamma and Aaron saw faith in Gamma. Aaron was the prime reason for Gamma seeing faith in them, in the good side. And of course Gamma saved Alden's life. And he will now raise Adam, so seeing this through, killing Beta, avenging Gamma, it does make sense that these two would be the ones to do it. This was actually foreshadowed in that animated red trailer we saw back in February. Of course, along with some other things. So, will the water tower death actually happen in this episode? This episode is called The Tower. This is exactly the point where Gabriel's comic death would happen. And so I think, in some sense, the water tower death will happen. Either a small character at the beginning of the episode, or a larger character towards the end. Alden and Aaron, of course, are massive suspects to that. It feels as though they are destined to kill Beta with their connections to Gamma, but he does survive to make it to the finale. He survives to bring his herd to Oceanside. So what really happened? I slowed this down, by the way, and Beta doesn't actually see Alden, but he seems to have sensed Alden in the first place, so it's likely he's going to do some weird whisperer shit and sense him.
Watch how helpful I can be.
No, wait, please!
And she just kills all of them. I can admit it, this scene, this sneak peek does show Princess can be quite cool. But honestly, if you take any outfit from the comic series and put it into the show, it's going to look cool. If you slow down any gunshot, it's going to look cool. I still stand by what I said. I think she might come across as way too cartoony for the show. Ezekiel pulled it off and managed to contain some realism to it, but it's just not sinking in right with me. It's like someone's mum is trying to be Harley Quinn for Halloween. Like, of all things that could have changed from the comics, they changed Beta and his attack, but if you're going to change something, make Princess's character more down-to-earth than the comics. I get it, it's an eccentric character, you can't change what the character's fundamentality is, but there's more ways to bring this character down-to-earth. It's way too cartoony. Honestly, bring fucking Tara back, 'cause I see these things from a mile away. Her first appearance says it all. First impressions are important. She doesn't get any better than this. I'll show you the sneak peek. She doesn't get any better. This is it. A constant Harley Quinn impression. I understand if you like her now, but you're going to have episodes of this. You're going to have years of it. If you don't see it now, then you will. I just see these things sooner. That's another storyline happening in this episode. They're on the way to the Commonwealth. And of course, some more scenes with Daryl and Judith, which of course means Daryl will find out about Rick Grimes' survival this episode, which is cool, but it's one of those things that I just know will be underwhelming. I say that because I think all of the characters have been told off screen. I think it's just going to be general knowledge of the characters now, which of course I don't really want. It would have been nice to see Daryl's reaction to it, but I just don't think that's going to happen. I think he's already been told. But let me know what you think down below, and of course, the water tower scene, do you think it's still going to happen? Do you think it will be a big death, or do you think it's going to be more like I said? If it's not Alden or Aaron, it will be Gage or Scott, or another notable yet small character at the beginning of this episode. As you know, I've been quite excited for this death, but if it doesn't happen, I'll be okay with it, because the way they're already going about Beta's attack is already completely different, so the manner of Gabriel's comic death would be different also. It's likely there's a chance it does happen later on in the episode. We do see a water tower in the background. But I'm no longer going to hang on to the fact that it's called the Tower. Of course, episode 14 was called Look at the Flowers, and it was a really small reference by Alpha. And even then, that was a hallucination, so I guess this is kind of different. We can't assume the tower is going to hold no meaning just like that did. But it could literally just mean the watchtower that Beta is standing on in the trailer. I guess, of course, they wouldn't show us anything to do with the actual water tower, because a lot of the comic fans would know, or just people that know about this death in general. It is really weird if it doesn't happen, yet they still call it the tower. Surely the writers have got to know what that means, what this would make people think. Make sure you let me know what you think down below. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you press the like button. It actually genuinely helps me out and will get this video more seen. If you did enjoy it, then make sure you check out videos that are similar to this one. Make sure you check out my review for episode 14. I talk about what you may have missed and what foreshadowings were made. It's not looking good for Ezekiel. And if you want to see the video I made completely dedicated to finding out the identity of this unidentified corpse, then make sure you check this out. It does look like Aaron. This could very well be a picture of the water tower scene. And of course, make sure you subscribe so that you're the first to hear about The Walking Dead and the first to see my videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.